All right, welcome back to Division 1 of our round 7 of season 6 of the league. It's a mouthful. This is the final race of the season here at Mount Panorama. We will have one final post-season race, but I don't believe we will be streaming that one. We got Little Goron's fan club in chat right now. So props to Little Goron. Qualifying will start in just about 2 minutes. So we will determine who will be starting from pole position in just about 10 minutes. Qualifying will be 10 minutes long. And then we'll get the final race underway. The final race being 35 laps around this extremely challenging course at Bathurst, Australia. So some fun facts. This circuit opened up in 1938. An extremely long time ago. The Conrod Straight, the back straight just past Forest's Elbow, all the way down to the chase, is about 1.9 kilometers long. I think that is about 1.2 miles, I believe. 1.3. And then the mountain straight, the front straight, is about 1 kilometer long. So the lowest point to the highest point of the track is 174 meters. That is quite a huge elevation change. And the track itself is about 6.2 kilometers long, so about almost I think just under 4 miles long. I think the biggest characteristics of this track are the extremely long straights coming towards the mountain and then coming down from the mountain. And then the extremely challenging section in the mountain itself, going up through the cutting all the way through Frog Hollow, up the skyline, and then starting to descend the mountain through the Dipper and the S's down to Forest Elbow, and then finally the Conrod Straight. So extremely challenging section for any motorsports class. Extremely difficult for Formula cars, especially due to the extreme elevation changes and the lower speed corners. So minimal downforce in those corners will not help those cars stick to the ground any more than they can. The lightweight chassis also making it very tricky to keep the car stable through those corners with no downforce. We have our Lotus team running their special John Player's special livery today. So qualifying will begin very shortly. Dinosaur has triggered the start procedure. In the meantime, let's take a look at the... Not take a look, but let's go over the Division 1 team standings. So McLaren Ford in Division 1 is currently leading the team championship. We have Lotus Ford just behind with 1 point less than McLaren for the lead. So McLaren 195, Lotus 194. So an incredibly tight championship battle here for Division 1. Minardi with a 183. So Minardi's still actually in contention here for a potential win as well. Footwork Mugen, a 166 in 4th place. Then we have Benetton Ford 5th, DJ in 6th, and then the Sauber Mercedes in 7th, which is now the Williams Renault team. So let's join our cars on track. So Accession is currently leading our cars on the outlap. We will join Accession as he crosses the... Will you join on board with Accession as he crosses the start-finish line to start the first hot lap of the qualifying session. So Lugi will be, Akon will be replacing Stoles today for the Lotus team. Stoles out with a knee injury, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stoles, if you're in chat. Session starts his hot lap going down the mountain straight towards turn 2. Slightly misses the apex. Going up towards the cutting. This very tricky climbing left-hander. Track looking pretty almost like moist going through Frog's Hollow. Almost see like the moisture on the surface of the track. And the challenging braking section going down towards the dipper. The dipper being the almost like the crux or the key point of the descending part of the mountain. And then finally that really tight left-hander of the forest elbow being the opposite of the cutting on the earlier section of the track. Oh man, you almost, oh dang, that sucks. Did you like twist your knee, or is it just like a impact injury? Did you tear anything? Like hopefully it wasn't anything too serious. Accession crosses the line with a 137.736. Currently it still sits in provisional pole position. Anthony Colazo crosses the line with a 138.1. And then we got Khan jumping up into provisional pole position with a 136.7. Ryder very close to Khan's time, 8 thousandths of a second short. Willie jumping up into 5th place. Anthony Colazo now 4th. Ads jumping into 6th place. Cecil Turtle completing a lap of 143. Cecil Turtle jumping up into Division 1 from Division 2. Cecil Turtle, our winner actually from their Division 2 race. We'll now have to quickly get used to this Division 1 car and compete right away. Sir Hames currently sitting in 10th. There's no lap time for Sir Hames yet. Same with Little Goron, still on his out lap. Little Goron will set a time and hopefully get himself out of 11th position. But he hits the wall there going up past the cutting and will jump into pits again to reset. So Little Goron here trying to get a clean lap. He will have clean air, which would be nice. V8, in the meantime, V8 Eater has jumped up into first position with 136.0. Picked up damage there on the, I think probably within the skyline section, I assume. It's hard to tell. Let's jump back on board with Little Goron. See if Little Goron can put a lap together here. So out of the cars that have not set a lap yet, we have Cecil Turtle. Or no, Cecil Turtle has set one. It's a one, I think it was a 1:43. Sir Hames needs a set of time. Little Jacob as well, and then Little Goron as well. So Little Goron potentially jump up at least to position 8 if he sets a good time. Sets a time. I think he jumps up to 6th place. Yep. So good time there by Sir Hames. 138.1. Little Jacob back into the pits. Still has not set a time. Or has, excuse me. Sorry, at 155.5. Thank you for following Lienza. Is that how you pronounce that? All right, so Little Goron completes a lap, jumps up into 7th position, ahead of Willie and just behind Sir Hames. Our top 3 have not changed since the start of this qualifying session. So we'll closely be watching the battle between the McLaren team. That will be Willie and I believe V8. No, not V8 or V8. So it'll be Willie and Accession, our 2 McLaren drivers. They currently sit 1 point ahead of our Lotus team. Lotus now being driven by a substitute. So Akon will be driving for Lotus with their special, or their John Player special livery. And then Ryder currently sitting in 3rd. So if they finish this in this order, in this qualifying order, Lotus will come out on top for the Division 1 championship standings. And obviously this is just qualifying, but qualifying here is extremely important because track position at Mount Panorama is extremely important. Ryder there setting a purple sector time, getting a little squirrely coming out of turn 2. Willie sets a personal best, jumps up into 7th, knocking our fan favorite right now, Little Goron, into 8th place, 8th position. Sir Hames sets a new personal best, jumps up into 5th, and then Ads also sets a personal best and jumps up into 8th. So knocking our current chat favorite, Little Goron, into 9th. It looks like Goron is finished with qualifying. Let's see here. Khan will be finishing a lap. Khan has damage, won't likely be able to improve on their time. Will Jacob crosses the line, and will he improve? He jumps up into 10th, and that will leave Cecil Turtle in the final position on the grid. Ryder has damage, so Ryder will likely not set the fastest lap this lap. But he did have purple in the first sector. our grid is now set. Let's take a look at the provisional starting positions. So V8 Eater will have pole position by a whole 0.6 of a second, which is quite significant there. It's a really good result by Minardi. If Minardi does extremely well, it's possible they could also win Division 1. So it's going to be an insanely tight race. Like Sir Hames and V8 Eater need to do extremely well in order for them to win the Division 1 team championship. If Akon starting from second place, Ryder in third, a 2-3 for our Lotus team. Anthony Calazzo starting from fourth place for Footwork Million Honda. Sir Hames in fifth. Accession and Willie, our McLaren team, not doing so hot, starting from sixth and seventh. They have a mountain to climb, literally, to win this team championship. And then we got ads starting from 8th place. And I believe Little Goron from 9th, Little Jacob 10th, and then Cecil Turtle in 11th place, starting from 11th position. There is no rain at Mount Panorama in GT7, so we won't have to worry about wet track conditions. And we'll stand by till Dinosaur gives us the go ahead here for the race. All right, it's going to be interesting to see who starts the race on what tire compound. We saw last race Dinosaurs start with a soft tire compound and immediately get the jump on backmarker racing. We'll see if anyone decides to do the same here. Again, track position being extremely important in the opening lap, so we will see if that will play out for anyone. I think if anyone does that strategy, it should be Khan, since he'll be starting alongside V8 Eater on the grid. All right, our grid is set and our drivers are readying up. We're getting our final confirmations that our drivers are ready to race. We'll get underway here in just a bit. Again, this will be 35 laps around Mount Panorama. Again, this will be a race of attrition. The key here is to not make mistakes, to minimize mistakes, not take damage, especially when going up the mountain or down the mountain in the twisty sections of the track. Taking damage is potentially race ending, so anyone who will take damage will likely not be a contender for winning the race. I think that's one of the most challenging things about Mount Panorama is that you want to maximize your laps as best as possible, but there's a margin of safety that you have to consider to not ruin your race. And that is the dilemma that is Mount Panorama. Faster you go, the riskier you get, or the riskier your laps become, the higher chance you'll have to end your race. Luckily, there's no terminal damage in GT7. You can always go into the pits and repair your car. So that is one thing that is nice about Gran Turismo. And now we have our race procedure underway here. Dinosaur has started the race and will join the grid in just a moment. All right, our 5 lights are out and the action starts now. So Anthony Palazzo gets a pretty good start. Khan gets a slow start. You got almost 3 wide going to T1. Really goes down pretty sharp, pretty quickly. Makes contact with Sir Hames. And then it looks like, I think it was Khan there, lost a few positions. One to Anthony Palazzo and another to Ryder. Anthony Palazzo making a big gain here on the opening laps. And then Little Goron, though, jumps up into 6th place. So Little Goron gaining a few positions. Though, as I say that, loses one to Accession up the cutting. And then now we're back to both of our McLaren team drivers in 5th and 6th, really with damage in on the rear part of the car. I don't think anyone else has damage, luckily. I think maybe Willie had just missed a braking point or locked up or something. Little Jacob, Scott coming out scot-free, adds as well. So Hames, the unfortunate receiving end of turn 1 there. And then Cecil Turtle in 11th. Let's take a look at the replay here. Turn 1, so Willie actually makes contact with Khan. And then then Sir Hames gets unfortunately blocked there by both of their cars. So, extremely unfortunate situation for Sir Hames there. Hames getting on the inside of Ads going into turn 2. Makes a nice overtake. Climbing up the ranks again after that unfortunate start on turn 1. Whoa, okay, so Accession there. Sideways up past the cutting. Sir Hames nearly missing him. Now Accession has damage. This is turning to be a a disastrous race for Team McLaren as they try to keep their team lead in the Division 1 championship. So V8 Eater comfortably in front, the 2.8 second lead, and we got a 2-3 for our Lotus team drivers, really in 4th place at the moment. And with Accession there falling out of the 5th place behind, Willie falls now down to 8th place due to having damage and then missing the exit there. Goran pits as well. Goran has, I believe, damage as well. So again, looks like Goran, Anthony Colazo, and Accession all went to pit. Little Jacobs decides to stay out with that damage on the front end. Let's take a look at tire compounds. So V8 Eater with the medium tire compound on as well. And then Ryder has picked up damage on that front right on the medium tire compound as well. I don't know where he picked up that damage, but and just about every car except for V8 Eater, Con, and Ads has picked up damage. Cecil Turtle is damage free. Cecil Turtle had a clean first lap, I believe. Goran maintains his position in 8th. Oh, he turns. Oh my God, the commentator's curse here. Little Goran picks up damage on that front left, trying to turn in a little too early, going towards the skyline at turn 10. And now we'll have to deal with damage again. Likely we'll pit again. Oh, we'll see if he decides to pit. Maybe he decides to stay out this time. So Willie jumps into the pits. Will likely pit to fix the damage. I wonder if Willie will switch off those medium tires. Ryder is now falling back quite a bit from Khan due to that damage. Ads is making some ground. V8 Eater has set the fastest lap at 139.2. Oh, and V8 Eater nearly missing the wall out of the exit of turn 10. And then near getting the tires on the grass. But V8 Eater has also picked up damage though on the front left. So, oh my God, so V8 Eater will then now have to pit. This is an insane race. A lot of damage everywhere. Ads, though, doing a very good job of keeping his car clean. And I hope I don't jinx him as I say this. Same with Cecil Turtle. Interesting. So V8 Eater decides not to pit, decides to carry on with the damage. credit him because it was meant to be GABA. So despite the damage, V8 Eater still maintaining the lead over Khan. Little Jacob there under attack by Cecil Turtle. And then Willie getting by as well. Almost like a three-way battle there. Little Jacob struggling with damage, it seems. And then Cecil Turtle being able to take the inside, going into turn 2. Oh, but he overdoes it and then breaks deep into the corner, and Little Jacob is able to do the over-under, the switchback through turn 2. Anthony Collazo looking to squeeze by, but decides not to get alongside Little Jacob, going up through Frog's Hollow. Drivers being extremely cautious, trying to overtake in the walled section of Mount Panorama. It's an extremely challenging section of the course to do any overtakes. So Sir Hames now catching up to Cecil Turtle. Sir Hames on racing soft tires, closing the gap really quickly now. Cecil Turtle takes the inside line to defend. And then we got another battle up front. Anthony Collazo and Little Jacob battling for position. Little Jacob dives into the pits, so that will free up Anthony Collazo to continue. Sir Hames jumps into the pits as well. A little bit early, actually. It seems like he's had quite a bit of life left in those tires. I'm not sure why he pit so early. Khan closing the gap down to V8 Eater. That damage not really having a huge effect on V8 Eater's times, it seems. I guess I suppose it is having a huge effect on his times, but not the position. His personal best is 139.2, and now V8 Eater is lapping in the 140s and 141s. Has caught up to Ryder. Ryder struggling with damage. Ads will now have an opportunity to pass, potentially going through turn 1. Ryder there lets ads by. It's interesting. very interesting take there. This rider didn't want to fight for position. Still trying to close down the gap to V8 Eater. He's now 1.7 seconds away. For V8 Eater to continue to lap fairly quickly, a 140 in lap 7 and a 146 or 140.6 in the last lap is really impressive for the damage that V8 Eater has on his car. Cecil Turtle under attack by Accession. Gap is just under half a second. Cecil Turtle probably very aware of this fact. Uh-oh, something is up with Little Goron's car there. Oh no, and Cecil Turtle's into the wall. And spins out there. Oh, unfortunate situation. These cars are extremely hard to drive, as is, and then even harder to drive on a track like Mountain Panorama. So Khan took an early pit stop and will be trying to undercut V8 Eater in the coming laps. We'll see if it works. Ads now in third place with Willie in fourth, both of them on racing mediums. Willie on a slightly a newer set of medium tires. Ryder took a pit stop, came out in 5th place. Sir Hames currently in 6th at the moment. So no one at the moment with damage on track, except for V8 Eater. So V8 Eater jumps into the pits, will likely cover Khan's undercut attempt here. We'll see if it works though. So Khan makes his way out of the pits, and then I think he'll have it. I think he'll have V8 Eater coming out from the pits. Yes, he does. So Khan now a convincing 3.3 second lead over V8 Eater. So great strategy call by Khan there by taking an early pit stop and undercutting V8 Eater. So We Evil Nation says that little girl claims to have met both Rick and Morty from the hit show Rick and Morty in real life and shook hands with them. I love these little snippets of trivia that we're getting from chat here. Oh no, and and Ads picked up a 3-second penalty, likely from crossing the pit exit or pit entry line. Only a second behind Ryder, but that penalty will be an excruciating penalty on Ads. It is not only 3 seconds of slowing down, it is effectively way more than that, especially down in the Conrad Straight where you have to serve the penalty. It will slow you down when you're supposed to be going as fast as possible. So Sir Hames will likely be able to pass Ads here on the straight. Yep, so Ads has to slow down. We'll potentially won't allow Anthony Colaza to overtake. Anthony Colaza is too far behind, but Anthony Colaza now is only 3 seconds behind. So again, that penalty was a huge one. Cliff Jacob is the tarnished one from Elden Ring. He doesn't mention it because he's humble. Oh man, I love the driver lore here. So we'll see what V8 Eater can do here on track and make the pass on Khan. It will be tricky because, again, track position is incredibly important here, and it's incredibly difficult to make a pass on track. So Khan has to deal with some blue flag traffic here. Hopefully he'll be able to make the overtake on Cecil Turtle pretty cleanly. You're experiencing a lot of that arrow wash. And Willie now is not too far behind from the leaders of the race, but with the offset and strategy, he'll have to make a pit stop fairly soon. And Ryder has picked up damage again on that front left, but has made his way pretty clear now from Ads and Sir Hames. Man, Ads that with that huge penalty. I feel like he's having a hard time recovering from it. But also those hard tires are not easy on a track like this. But the sun is coming out, so the track will get warmer, and hopefully those hards will be a little bit more favorable towards the middle stint of this race. Evil Nation says, read more about my interview with Little Goran in my upcoming biography, Little Goran, Littler Dreams, where I dive deep into our favorite driver's psyche. Can you give us some highlights from your biography? I'd love to hear more. V8 Eater there taking a poke and potentially psyching out our leader Khan, who misses the apex at turn 1, and now leaves an opening for V8 Eater. V8 Eater has a draft. They get side by side into turn 1, and V8 Eater understeers on the outside of the track, and Khan is able to keep the position. What a race there. Khan on the inside of turn 2, the inside being way more valuable, way more advantageous relative to the outside, as I mentioned before in our Division 2 race. When you're on the inside, you have a bit of an advantage going into turn 2 because the turn is slightly cambered in your favor, whereas the outside is cambered against you. So Khan there being quite smart by defending the inside line going into turn 2. But now Khan is going to have to defend once again. V8 Eater in the slipstream. He's going to be able to make the pass going down the straight. Khan keeps his car in the center of the track, and V8 Eater makes the pass off the track. An incredibly risky move there. That was absolutely nuts. V8 Eater off the track to be able to take the inside going into the chase. Let's take a look at that again. Jeez, that was insane. Look at this, he goes off the track and then uses the extra patch of tarmac that appears out of nowhere to stay on track. That was absolutely nuts. I have never seen anything like that. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that at LRC, but that was absolutely crazy. To go out onto the grass, knowing that patch of tarmac is coming up and giving them the advantage, going into the inside of the chase, that was like big brain. That was like really, really impressive. So props to V8 Eater there. Probably pass of the season, I think. Man, let's take a look at that pass one more time. I gotta look at it one more time. That was just nuts. So he goes off 2 wheels off the track, almost 4, but then like, yeah, that extra tarmac, just absolutely wild. My goodness. Little Jacob's real name is Kyle Crane. He is the one who killed the zombies and Haran. Jacob under attack by Anthony Collazo going towards turn 2. Jacob remains on the outside, confident that Anthony Collazo will not make the attempt on the inside. Anthony Collazo needs to be cautious here. The arrow wash being very dangerous at this part of the track. And you can see that understeer that Anthony Collazo experiences due to the lack of downforce going up past the, I think that's Quarry Corner. Almost touched the wall there. Little Jacob getting a good exit coming out of Forrest's elbow. So Ryder has caught up to, that's Cecil Turtle, who is a lap down. Ryder there with some damage on the front left. And then Willie, though, is going to be able to catch up to Ryder very quickly here. Willie coming back from picking up some damage on the opening lap is now 4th place and is quickly hunting down Ryder for that final podium position. So looks like Khan has picked up some damage on the front wing. Although V8 Eater also picked up damage. Again, though, we saw that it didn't really affect, I guess it did affect his times, but not by an absolutely huge amount. Not what you would think with crashing your car into the wall. So I believe V8 Eater will continue to race with the damage and not deviate from the strategy. So Willie closing the gap now down to 1.6 seconds from Ryder. I believe Willie will be able to make the pass on track, hopefully without any difficulty. Although again, it's extremely difficult to pass here, so we'll see if Willie will be able to do so down the Conrad Straight this time. If not, I think he'll likely have an opportunity either this coming lap on the Mountain Straight or the next lap back down the Conrad Straight for the second time. Ryder makes a mistake and allows Willie to slide by. Ryder there going a little too wide into turn 2. So V8 Eater will take seems like an early pit stop. And I believe Khan should probably take the pit stop as well. Yep, and he does. So Khan will take the pit stop and repair the damage. Both of them in the pits right now. This will give a rare opportunity for Willie to catch up. Although I believe V8 Eater is sufficiently ahead that, yeah, so V8 Eater is already out on his out lap, and Khan will likely be out as well very shortly. That will leave... Oh no, so Khan hasn't left the pits. Khan has a slow pit stop, and Willie is able to pass Khan. Picks up a purple sector while doing so. And now Sir Hames and adds about a total of 12 seconds or so behind Khan. So V8 Eater still with a pretty commanding lead over Willie and Khan going into the second half of this race. Cecil Turgle, our Division 2 winner, jumps into the pits. Little Goron in 10th place. Says he finds Peter Griffin to be a heavily relatable character. I don't know what that means. So Willie has made up several places now from the start of the race. Currently being chased down by a Khan. Khan getting very close now. I think he'll have a overtaking opportunity here with the slipstream coming down the Conrad straight. Both get past Little Jacob, and Willie will remain on the outside. He'll take the inside of the chase. Khan there getting almost two wheels on the grass. They go side by side through the chase. They go side by side now going into the last turn of the circuit. Willie has the inside though, and Khan makes it stick though on the outside. Khan has the advantage on the tires, so Khan will now shift to the inside, defend into turn one, and Willie won't have much to do with it, but Willie will now have the slipstream going down the mountain straight. Will it be enough though? I don't know. Willie will have quite a bit of slipstream, but Khan will have the inside going into turn two, which is a definite way to defend the position. I don't think anyone will be able to overtake on the outside going to turn two. So this battle has allowed Sir Hames to also make up some ground. Sir Hames, unfortunate incident that happened at turn one, put him down several positions, but he is now caught back up and is just along where Willie is for a net position of 4th place. So Willie and Sir Hames both enter the pits at the same time. So Willie and Sir Hames kind of on the same strategy after having incidents in lap 1. Ryder now will potentially pass both of them at the start of lap 26. Ryder currently holds the fastest lap at 1:37.66. Willie comes out just ahead of Sir Hames just as they went into the pits. Anthony Colazzo sitting in 6th place, but will have to make a pit stop extremely soon. As to say that he pulls into the pit lane. Ads now 7th will be able to pass Anthony Colazzo in the pits for that 6th position, as will Accession. As it stands, we have Minardi in first, V8 Eater, a Lotus in second and third, so 2-3 currently for Lotus. And then we have the McLaren of Willie in 4th place with a set of racing soft tires. Interesting choice. Sir Hames with the racing medium tires in 5th place, and then Ads in 6th. So we have a 2-5 for Minardi. Sorry, a 2-3 for Lotus, a 1-5 for Minardi, and then a 4-7 for McLaren. As it stands, I believe Team Lotus will take the Division 1 Team Championships. as we switch focus to little Jacob, he picks up damage on the front right. Little Goran up in 9th place, receiving the blue flag. Willie has caught up to Ryder. Willie on the racing soft tires. I think Ryder on the mediums. Ryder with damage as well, so I think Willie will be able to make this pass quite easily going down the Conrad straight. Yep, and he does. Makes quick work of Ryder. Ryder not able to keep pace due to the damage on that front end. Sir Hames now looking to sneak position as well as he catches up to Ryder. So this would be pretty detrimental to Lotus's results if Lotus finishes further down the grid. But I don't think this will be enough of a result for Minardi to take the championship for Division 1. But every point counts. We don't know until the race is over. Ryder there defends on the inside, and Sir Hames able to make quick work of Ryder there, able to make the pass completely before the turn-in point. Now Sir Hames will chase down Willie for that final podium position. Sir Hames started the league, I think, from Season 2, potentially, from Division 2, was a winner, and has since joined Division 1. Had a little bit of trouble, but you can see now he's fighting for these top podium positions. He's come a long way since his debut races at LRC. A lot of progress been made for Sir Hames. Also to see that in our drivers. Very similar thing for Stoles, who isn't racing today, unfortunately. But amongst a lot of our drivers, we've seen a crazy amount of improvement since they've joined the league. And just LRC in general. So the question will be, at what point will Willie's tires start to fall off and become much slower than they are currently? Sir Hames has plenty of life left in those mediums. So I think Willie, I don't know if he's going to have enough tire life for the last 5 laps of this race, 6 laps of this race, including this one. I think Sir Hames will likely have enough tires to finish the race. I think it would be close though. So Ads might be able to finish in a top 5 position if he doesn't have to pit another time as well. He's currently on the racing hards, but he's a full 36 seconds behind Ryder, which might not be enough to pass one of them if they decide to jump into the pit lane and change tires. So Willie's in the pits. Khan is in the pits as well. Sir Hames has passed them both. So, well, this is extremely interesting. So Sir Hames, if he can finish this race on those mediums, he could finish in second place, and Minardi could have a 1-2 finish. And if they finish this way, I think they actually might have a chance to win the Division 1 team championship. It's gonna be close. I wish I had like a live like championship standing calculator right now, because that would be awesome. Unfortunately, I do not have one, but it's gonna be extremely close. They need to gain essentially, I think, 13 more points than McLaren does. And 12 more points than Lotus. So, I don't know. It's going to be super close. So, I think if Minardi can just maximize their chances of winning here, a 1-2, yeah, that'll be all they can do to maximize their chances of winning. And then whether or not, you know, the following cars' positions and how they finish, if that will be enough to, it'll be dependent on Lotus and where McLaren finishes in the team standings of this race. So currently Ryder and Akon in 3rd and 5th might actually be enough to keep that first position. Might be able to, take away that first position from Team McLaren. It's so extremely tight. Willie there getting extremely close to Khan, going into turn 2. Willie with a new set of Racing Soft. Khan also on the Racing Soft tires, but both of them on equal footing. Khan taking a defensive line, going into the cutting. Willie has his work cut out for him due to having to race in the slipstream of Khan through these tricky cornering sections of the Skyline. He has to back out just a little bit to avoid the aero wash. I think that's the conundrum of this section in these cars, that you have to take the risk of following closely enough to be able to exit out of the Forest elbow to be able to make a pass down to Conrad straight. So you got to take those risks in order to make a pass on the straight. And at this point, is Willie concerned enough that he's going to lose the championship, the team championship, sorry, to do such a risk? I guess we'll see. So Ryder firmly in 5th place, Ads in 6th. Feeling the pressure from Accession, but Accession has damage. Currently sitting in 7th place. Anthony Colazzo in 8th. Little Gron still in 9th. Jacob in 10th. And Cecil Turtle in 11th. So Minardi, an extremely strong showing today. curious as to what the provisional results would be if we ended the race this way. So Ryder has the fastest lap. Oh, and Willie takes a dive into the inside of Khan. Forces him onto the outside, but that will give him a chance to use the slipstream down the Conrad straight. Khan, though, has to defend what is the inside of the Conrad straight down into the chase. Khan there defending fairly well. Both having to get past Cecil Turtle right there. Willie, though, looking to take the outside. They both go side by side into turn 23. The exit side by side going in through the front straight, and Willie makes it stick on the outside. What a pass there. And the passing today has been absolutely insane. Epic racing by everyone involved. Let's see if we can catch that again. And here they come out side by side out of turn 23, and then Willie just has this crazy acceleration to make the pass down the front straight. Something we haven't seen at all today. All right, so if both Minardi's finish a 1-2 today, that will net them a total of 46 points if they don't get the fastest lap. If Willie finishes in third and Accession finishes in 8th place, that will be 25 points. So that would be a full 20 points ahead of Team McLaren. So that will make them ahead of Team McLaren. And the way, let's see here, if Khan and Ryder finish in 4th and 5th, that is 28 points. So yeah, if the race finishes with this order, I think Team Minardi will take the Division 1 championship, which would be absolutely insane, by the way. So V8 Eater showing an extremely strong performance today, taking pole position, taking damage in the middle of the race, and still fending off Khan through the first stint of the race, and then losing out to an undercut, but then eventually coming back to retake the lead through the middle part of the race, and then staying consistently fast through the end of the race. V8 Eater one more time through turn 23 will cross the finish line in first place. Epic finish there by V8 Eater. Congratulations to V8 Eater's win. Accession will cross the line in 8th place. And then Sir Hames, also an epic drive by Sir Hames today. Was unfortunate at the start to be involved in an incident, but came back extremely strong and will bring it home with a 1-2 for Minardi. And then Willie and Khan there getting very, very close together at the exit of the final turn and crossing the line a mere 0.3 of a second. Ryder bringing it home to have Lotus finish a 4-5 in the final race of the season. As they're very close to being caught by Anthony Colazzo coming into the final turn of the race. Anthony Colazzo extremely close, but it won't be enough. Ads will cross the line in 6th place. Anthony Colazzo in 7th, Accession 8th, Ron 9th, Jacob 10th, and then Cecil Turtle in 11th place. What a good race today. Oh my God, what a great way to end the season. We had some extremely great racing at the end of the race there. The highlight of, I think, the season, to be honest, was V8 Eater's pass down the Conrad Straight, having two wheels on the grass, but then using that piece of tarmac appearing out of literally nowhere to take the inside going into the chase. That was something else. That side-by-side racing between Con and Willie was also really, really great to see. And then Sir Hames's recovery drive, basically down from almost last place at the beginning of the race to bring it home for a 1-2 for Minardi, was amazing to see. So that will conclude season 6 of the league at LRC. I really appreciate everyone involved in the league this season. Special shout out to Dinosaur, who is our race organizer. Dinosaur has been running this league since pretty much the beginning of LRC. So huge props to Dinosaur to not only run the races every week, but also to find substitutions if people needed them, open the lobbies, organize the shootout and the team selection, everything. So huge thanks to Dinosaur. Huge thanks to our team captains and our teams and our drivers, all 28 of them. Actually, more than 28 since we had reserve drivers as well. And then finally, a special thank you to our stewards. Our stewards are non-biased, non-participating members of LRC. So thank you to Silva and to Beto for moderating and reviewing our incidents that get reported week to week. You guys have been amazing. And one final thank you to everyone who's watched the races and participated in the league and reviewing and supporting their drivers. So huge shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. And with that, we'll be taking a break from probably broadcasting until the next league starts in maybe 2 months. So until then, definitely check us out. Join us on Discord. The invite link is pinned in chat. So join us there and get involved with our community. If you're interested in streaming or commentating or anything really, race organizing, holding events like one-offs. If you're interested in anything GT7 or even sim racing related, we also participate in iRacing and ACC as well. So if you're interested in contributing or just in being part of a community that's prioritizes collaborative learning and sportsmanship, definitely check us out. Click on that pinned link in chat and join us on Discord. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and we will see you next season. Take care.